post that came into my feed recently got me fired up and led to an interesting conversation that we had in my house and a whole lot of research that I did. I want to share it with you as well, because this is something that in my research I have realized has come up again and again for the last 15 years. And it has to do with an artificial sweetener called aspartame. I want to share with you what I found because it is going to definitely impact you and hopefully set the record straight a little bit. I want to help you sort this out. And we're going to also have one big takeaway from today. We are talking about making sure that we know what is in the foods that we are eating, at least what we're consuming on a regular basis. And that goes for drinks as well. One of the most important habits that we can have when it comes to what we consume, especially things we're consuming on a regular basis, is to look at the ingredient list, whether it is food, drink, or a supplement. If you don't know what's in it, you don't know what it's going to do to you, how it's going to affect you, maybe even years down the line, if it's going to have a negative effect on your health. We need to know what is in the foods that we are consuming on a regular basis, because there can be some sneaky marketing. There can be some scientific sounding names. We look at labels. What is that really? I don't really know. Well, whatever. It tastes good. And it's supposed to be low calorie. So individuals may consume a lot of it without understanding what it is. But I also, admittedly, I use supplements. I use vitamins, minerals, and other supplements. And I have for a long time as somebody in the fitness industry. I actually enjoyed trying things out for a long time, trying out different things. And that helped me really to hone what it was that I was looking for in terms of effects that a supplement was going to give me. And interestingly, recently I had an opportunity to try a supplement by the name of Magic Mind. Maybe you have seen this right here. It is a mental performance shot that is designed to help you stay sharp, to help you stay focused, to help you stay productive throughout the day. And so I had an opportunity and was invited to try a 7-day challenge, to try this little guy for 7 days and just see what happened. That was the challenge. Try it for 7 days. And my first question was, okay, great. What's in it? What is in it? What does the label say? What are the ingredients? And when I looked at it, when I flipped it over, when I looked online at the ingredients, here's what I found. I found mushroom extracts, which I'm familiar with, mushrooms that are known to improve brain health, things like lion's mane, cordyceps. They also help us with our sleep. And there's also adaptogenic herbs. There are vitamins. There's green tea, matcha. So it's all things that I know. I've heard of these things. I have consumed them in other ways in the past. And so I felt really confident. Hey, this is a 7-day challenge that I can try. There's no artificial junk in this little shot right here, this mental performance shot. And so I've been having one every morning. And, you know, I should mention, I don't replace my coffee. I'm still having coffee. These do have caffeine in them, but this is a different type of caffeine. It's not like the caffeine that you find in most coffees that gives you like a spike of energy and then a crash later. It's more sustained. It's more consistent, that continues to give you mental clarity throughout the day. And one thing that I noticed as well is that having this particular supplement multiple days in a row, that there's a little bit of a positive cumulative effect. So I definitely noticed it helped me feel less stressed, more focused, sharper, and I'm going to keep on enjoying this little mental performance shot. It's helped me as a business owner, as I'm running this podcast and doing all the other things that I've got to do to take care of my clients. I enjoy it as well. decent flavor. I know that's a question I get a lot. Hey, what does this taste like? What does this thing taste like? If I've mentioned that I'm using it, this one for me, and this particular formulation, um, tastes a little bit like mint and apple, I would say, kind of a mixture of that, maybe a little bit of a green tea, subtle flavor, but not super, super intense. It's definitely not gross to me. But I'm the type of person that I like to eat my veggies. I'm not too interested really in what things taste like as much as the health benefits that they're going to bring me. So, as far as I can tell, great ingredients, good quality product, and does what it says it's going to do. And here's a really cool thing about it too, is that it Magic Mind, they offer 100-day money back guarantee. I mean, that tells you a little bit about what this company is after. If you're not satisfied with the product for any reason, they'll give you a full refund after 100 days, no return necessary. So if you want to try Magic Mind, they are giving my listeners, they're giving you 48% off a subscription or 20% off of a one-time purchase. Go to magicmind.com/begin20 and use that code as well, begin20, in order to get that discount. Check it out, see how you feel after 7 days. I mentioned that we've been talking about aspartame, Amanda and I, as a result of a post that I saw. It said that aspartame is now going to be listed on ingredient labels as amino sweet. And of course, that gets you fired up, doesn't it? Doesn't that, like, oh wow, what's the reason, right? And of course, the explanation was the product was being rebranded so that it could sound healthier and it could ditch some of its bad publicity for being potentially carcinogenic to humans. Potentially, right? So the idea was, okay, they're going to do this rebranding. And now when people saw the label, it's going to say amino sweet and they're going to think, oh, that's healthy, versus the old aspartame, which may have some scariness around it, some negative connotations. And I thought, man, no way. I can't believe this is happening. Well, guess what? This happened already. This rebranding happened already way back, somewhere between 2009 and 2010. Okay. So this is not news. But what I noticed in my research is that this has been kind of recycled over and over again. And of course, the post gets, oh, it gets lots of attention, lots of traction, lots of comments about the yucky systems that are regulating food labels and things like this, and all these conspiracy type theories. Here's the truth. Here's the truth. This happened a long time ago. This was a Japanese company that they are a food additive company named Ajinomoto. So this is back in 2009, 2010, somewhere around there. The aspartame that they're producing, they rebranded to call it amino sweet. Now, here's what you need to know is that ever since then, and if you are someone who reads any food labels ever, you know that in the last 15 years, if you flipped over a low calorie or 0 calorie soda, for example, you saw the word aspartame. It's still there. The labels haven't changed. In fact, from the research that I have done, they're not going to change. Aspartame is not going to be labeled as amino sweet, a brand name. From the research I've done, and you can do some Google searching yourself, check it out, and just be aware. Be aware of what is going on. And of course, as I mentioned, the chemical itself, this artificial sweetener aspartame, it does have a little bit of bad press, but in the amounts that are recommended, generally it is recognized as still safe for human consumption. Now that is for you to decide if you want to consume it or not. Okay. The International Agency for Research on Cancer has labeled aspartame as possibly carcinogenic to humans. Now, you can decide if you're somebody who is okay with consuming something that's possibly carcinogenic. And there have been some studies that possibly link it to other health problems. Okay. But that's for you to decide. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I just want to share some information. Like I said, that got me fired up that I saw that post. And later I found out that, yes, it is true. It is true that this one company that does apparently contribute a decent amount of the aspartame that's available in our food supply. This one company changed the name of the aspartame that they produce and put a new label on it, kind of rebranded it. However, even if the product that you're eating contains an ingredient from that company in the United States and Canada, it is still labeled as aspartame. No one's trying to pull the wool over your eyes. Now, in some other area, different regulations, I suppose, from what I can tell, it may be possible that instead of aspartame, amino sweet appears on the label. Now, where's this all taking us? What's the lesson? I mean, first of all, do some research when it comes to health. There's so much research that we could potentially do, right? Where do we direct our focus? What should we learn more about? What additives should we know about? You might wonder, well, there's so many, and of course, new ones are being created all the time, especially in the world of artificial calorie-free sweeteners. Those are going to probably continue to be created, and the long-term health risks may not be known. So, what should you research? How can you know? Here's what I would recommend. Anything that you are going to be consuming regularly, if it's going to be on the shelf in your house, if you're going to be having it, every day, know what is in it. If you're someone who's interested in your health, and I know you are because you're here, know what is in the things that you're eating on a regular basis or drinking on a regular basis, especially because we're going to be getting high amounts of all the ingredients that are contained within that package. Flip those labels around and understand what each of those ingredients are. Even if the list is long, take some time, do some research, find out what's out there, what kind of tests have been done so that you can understand. So that you can understand what's going into your body. You don't have to research every single food additive that's ever been created in a laboratory, but check out the ones that you are being exposed to on a regular basis. Learn about them, understand how they're made. Does this seem like something that I want to be putting into my body? Right? There are artificial sweeteners that are chlorinated sugar particles. Does that sound like something that I want to be consuming on a regular basis? I mean, you can decide. I'm not here to tell you what to do. And of course, if someone's like, hey, try this thing out. I really like it. And you're going to take a sip, or you're going to have a bite. Maybe you don't have to be like, oh, what's in it? Tell me all the ingredients. Maybe you don't have to be quite so cautious. But if you're having it on a regular basis, it seems reasonable. It seems reasonable, doesn't it? That you would know what it is that you're having, that you'd be informed on those ingredients. And that's the habit that I want to recommend to you. Look at the ingredient label, and you're probably someone who does that already. But if you're not, get into the habit of it. It was interesting as I was doing research, I came across mayoclinic.org. They had an article, and I'll link this one in the show notes. I think an article on nutrition and healthy eating, artificial sweeteners, and other sugar substitutes. And it said this at the very end of this article. And I think this is a great rule of thumb and a great way to wrap up this conversation. I'm going to quote from mayoclinic.org here. It says products made with sugar substitutes also may give you the wrong message about processed foods. A snack labeled low sugar or no sugar may not be the most nutritious choice. Whole foods, such as fruits and vegetables usually have the best mix of nutrients for the body. Isn't that great? Whole foods, whole foods, such as fruits and vegetables, usually have the best mix of nutrients for the body. So we can get into the conspiracy theories, dig into them, find out if they're true, whatever. If it's intriguing to you and you're researching it to benefit your health, I don't think your time's ever going to be wasted. However, the answer that we're always going to come back to, I'm pretty confident we're always going to come back to it, is that snacks, things in packages, packaged food with lists of ingredients, they're never going to be as nutritious as fruits and vegetables. Of course, I'm up to having the conversation. If you want to drop a comment or reach out to me on social media, I'm happy to have the conversation. This one was a project for me. This was a rabbit hole I went down, and I just wanted to take some time to share it with you. I will talk with you again soon. And until then, check your labels and keep taking good care of yourself.